But there is so many questions beyond the bill that need to be answered so that we can actually, so those of us in rural Ontario can actually have the confidence to think that we're actually going to see service. Before I get to those problems, there's one thing that I didn't hear. One thing I didn't hear this morning from any of the speakers on the government side about this bill. They talked about, access to broadband. They talked about how important it was, as have I. I didn't hear one person talk about one of the biggest obstacles to broadband is affordability. And I'll give you an example. I rent an apartment here because I live much farther than 50 kilometers away from my home. And I'm not a technical person. So how many megabytes per second, if you're going to get me to explain that, Speaker, I'm going to get in trouble there. But I can tell you that I pay $50 a month here for the fastest you can get. And how I judge what the fastest you can get, my daughter is doing a PhD thesis, and she does something with programming satellites. I'm not that bright. My daughter's pretty bright. She never complains. If she's at my apartment, she never complains about the broadband. And she does computer programming. I just look at it and go, my mind twirls. At home, I have satellite, not satellite. I used to have satellite internet, and I had to quit it. The high altitude satellite, they got too many people on the satellite, and you couldn't do anything. So now I have a small internet provider, and I can see the tower from my house. They built a tower and the neighbor, and I'm fine with it. I can do everything I want with that high-speed internet that I've got, but my daughter can't. My daughter could not work from my home, and she couldn't work from home. Anyone who's got that service. Now that's a roadblock, because I would love if my daughter could come live we live in a beautiful area, housing is cheaper. You know what? The one reason, I'm not saying she has to move home or has to move back, but one of the reasons why she cannot move back to Temiskaming Cochrane, to the country, to a nice house on the lake, she can't, because she will never be able to do her job. And that is the same for all kinds of people. Now, I'm really happy with the company who's doing that service. Very happy. But those are two different types of services. So that's a huge issue. But getting back to my point, I pay $50 here and $140 for the one at home. Now, we all know that you need access to high-speed internet for your kids, for your social life, for life. And we all know that the cost of food, the cost of gas in Northern Ontario, there is no public transportation to speak of. You're getting in your car, you're getting in your truck, you're paying $2 a litre. Food costs more, everything costs more. So you would hope that if there's a government subsidized program, that at the end of the day, that also one of the goals would be affordable broadband. I didn't hear that. Because there's a difference between it's available or it's affordable. For me, because of my job, $140 a month, not the end of the world. But for many people who I represent, when they have to choose between what they need, $140 is a lot of money. It's a lot of money. And there's no guarantee that the government's program is not going to be more.